I'm not a Jared Goff hater. First and foremost.
I wanted to talk Tigers.
We're not talking Tigers.
We're fucking talking Tigers.
We're talking Tigers at the very end of the show.
Dude.
But AI is the one to tell me Jared Goff isn't him. And if AI is calculating this process, I just have to accept it as fact, not opinion. These are complicated algorithms coming up with this, not me. And yesterday, during my AI prep sheet, it had me read an article about the Jared Goff re-signing situation, which I guess there was like some audible or audio issues in that situation where like Brad Holmes said there was internal conversations, not conversations going on about Jared Goff's contract extension. And with that, I was reading the article, and Jared Goff had spoken about the being re-signed himself. And Spinny, you're gonna love this, because the people who are pro Goff or think that that's going to happen that way, the people who don't use AI to calculate their football opinions, think he's going to re-sign for less. Here is an exact quote from Jared Goff. Throw that bad boy up there. I highlighted the important part, but I'll start it off if you want me to read all of it. It says Jared Goff is, again, this is regards to his contract extension. I can see this one. It's not that bad. I'm only 30. I'm not 30 yet. I mean, of course, you're open, says Goff said. It has been brought to my attention, but yeah, of course, open to anything. Not up to me. I'm a player. I don't have to make these decisions, and I did. And if I did, I would have made that decision a long time ago. Here's the highlighted part. Thank you. Shout out to ChatGPT for this one. Give me and all my friends all the money. And fuck babies. No, I'm just kidding. Just give me and all my friends all the money in the world. But I just get to play. And if that comes about, that'd be great. But we'll see.
I don't think that's anything definitive.
He wants all the money. What do you mean?
I mean, everybody would say that.
That's just, and this is like the iceberg of the tip of the iceberg with like the whole where AI wanted to take this one, not me, because I swear to God, I'm not a Jared Goff hater. But he's getting paid, Smitty. You and I fucking say this all the time. But the 15-month part, I wanted to expound on a little bit, because that's what we were told is Brad Holmes, or I'm sorry, Dave Burkett in his article has that preface is like within 15 months. Spending 15 months from now, we're not even in the month of May in 2024.
Yeah.
We're in the month of August at that point, and the season's on the horizon. If there's that 15th like month of buying themselves some time, it sounds like they're waiting to see like one, how Jared Goff performs this year. Two, how my man, our guy, how JB's guy, Hendon Hooker looks this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 2023 Detroit Lions season is a big one for the foreseeable future, because it's going to maybe decide who's going to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
Things getting spicy.
I think so. I mean, it will, for sure. I don't think that quote is like damning evidence by any means, but it'd be hard pressed for you to give me an argument to where Jared Goff takes less money than Daniel Jones. Your agent would tell you no. Your wife would tell you no. Your friends would tell you no. And you're just going to be like, oh, no, I'll do it. I'll do it because I love the Lions, because I love Detroit. Like, no, this isn't foo-foo fairy time land. This is a business. Sports are a business. And he's out there to get paid. And I don't blame him. I'd do the same fucking thing. If I'm sitting here and somebody offers me $35 million a year and then another team offers me $45 million a year, you're damn sure I'm taking the $45 million.
Yeah, and like, to be honest with you, that was half-assed. I'm joking with that one, obviously. Like, I'm not saying Jared Goff said he wants all the money in the world, but I think obviously if you're looking for clues, like what type of deal he's looking for, probably a big one, going off that statement. But even bigger than that, like, where I'm looking at it is the 15-month thing. And maybe I already screenshot it, so maybe I just want to use that one. But the 15-month buffer before there's an actual extension of Jared Goff. I really think that Brad Holmes drafted Hendon Hooker not as a fucking backup. Obviously, if all else fails, again, that's what this season's for. If Jared Goff performs and Hooker doesn't really show too much promise, then you re-sign Goff and then Hendon Hooker's his backup. Mm-hmm. But I really think what this year is to be kind of like the Jalen Hurts situation. Am I being a hater?
You're not being obtuse.
Is there logic there?
Yeah.
I feel like you're using that word wrong.
I'm not.
But I'm listening.
You're not being obtuse.
I still feel like you're using it wrong, but carry on.
I'm not.
Like you are.
You're
but
not
carry
being
on.
obtuse. You're pretty accurate on this. It's tough, man. This is a put up or shut up season, and we'll see what happens from it. But even if he repeats his performance from last year, would that make Brad Holmes be like, all right, yeah, we're throwing the bag at this guy? If he goes out there and does the same thing he did last year, which I think he will, I think he'll have a very comparable season to what he did last year. Is that enough for Brad Holmes to be like, yeah, we're throwing a bag at this guy? I'm not sure it would. We haven't seen Brad Holmes throw a bag at anybody. We haven't seen Brad Holmes overpay, overvalue. Now, the quarterback position is very different because it is the most important position on the field. But we've also heard multiple different testimonies from head coach and GM of he's not going to be here forever. He bought us some time. We're looking for someone to develop, different things like that. So there are mixed signals out there, but we'll see. We'll see. This is a big year definitely for Jared Goff and for the Detroit Lions, and hopefully it all works out for both of them. Best case scenario, everything happens well, the Lions win a playoff game, and we go from there.
I mean, it's just the genius of Brad Holmes, because I'm looking at the situation that the Tennessee Titans found themselves in, where they had that mid guy, found a little bit of success, or perceived success, and they paid him. Ryan Tannehill has one of the highest cap hits this year as well. I know I always bring up Jared Goff. There's another mid guy in the conversation, and it's Ryan Tannehill. And then they quickly found themselves trying to replace that mid-tier quarterback with a rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
The first year with Malik Willis, running on the wall says not working out. Now you got another swing at it with Will Levis. Not a lot of us in the room think that one's working out. Brad Holmes, and this is the genius of what's his name, Howie Roseman.
Yep.
I'm getting the name right.
Yep.
The genius of Howie Roseman, who did this beforehand. He had Carson Wentz, and when he had Carson Wentz, he still took the flyer on Jalen Hurts while he had the quarterback in place. And I feel like it's the same philosophy that Brad's following here, because he also experienced this as well too in L.A. Gave Goff the money, we're fucked. They had to make a trade, mortgage the future to cash in on a team that was already built to win. And that's the thing too that Chris brought up yesterday, that the roster, the offensive side of it at least, is built for almost anybody to step in and take control, because everything around you has playmaking capabilities. Amon St. Brown, probably more of your traditional route runner, but Jamison Williams, take 10 to the crib. Jahmyr Gibbs is supposed to be able to take 10 to the crib. Laporte,
Yeah.
able to take 10 to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the offense you're building. That's not an offense you need to have a guy with a Patrick Mahomes deep ball accuracy to make work, because they're all playmakers. And by the way, you have an offensive line to give you all fucking day
All the time
to
in
make the
world.
right throw.
Yep.
Generated by AI fucking offensive scheme. It's been pretty fucking good so far.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm buying into the Hendon Hooker hype a lot more than I was before.
Before when? Like yesterday?
Yeah, because I've always. I mean, and to this point too.
Bro goes at home and just stares at a picture of Jared Goff. He's like, and then he pulls up Hendon Hooker on his phone. He's like, oh, all right, we're good. You're more bought in than you were yesterday.
Oh yeah. I mean, yesterday obviously.
Based on what? Like,
just based off that logic. Like I think Hendon Hooker has been brought in to be your Jalen Hurts. Because if you don't want to pay Jared Goff, and the writing's on the wall when you pay these guys that aren't the caliber of a Patrick Mahomes, this shit doesn't work out for you. There's probably only 4 to 5 quarterbacks I'd give that type of money to.
yes, I'd agree.
Unfortunately, I'd love it if Jared Goff was one. He's not.
Like, yeah, that's what you got to ask yourself realistically in a vacuum. What is Jared Goff closer to, Patrick Mahomes or Carson Wentz?
Mm-hmm.
And it's Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
So would you pay Carson Wentz, a little bit better Carson Wentz, that much money?
No.
No. Because you look back at those contracts, you look at the Russell Wilson contract, and now you're like, damn, that's trash.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the Deshaun Watson contract, damn, that's trash.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, damn, that's trash.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones, damn, that's trash. I don't want to be. That's what I was arguing with Neil and D-Mac. Like, I understand that's setting the market, or that's what it goes for on the market. just because that's what it goes for doesn't mean I want to handicap myself with a bad contract. I'd rather just cut ties and try and find my guy.
Because it's the handicapping yourself to those contracts has never fucking worked. Give me an example where it worked, and I'll be fucking hunky-dory with you. But it hasn't. Even with the fucking good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's when that 12% comes into play. Because even, obviously, fucking good quarterbacks are getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVPs, out in the fucking first playoff game. That's the reality of it. But there's two very, very good comments I want to get to before we go to, well, we got a couple more minutes too. But first comment, actually, I'll relate this way. We'll go with Marcelo Ventura first. And he says, the problem is, Goff is about the ball this year, Easy. And I agree. I don't know about the word ball, but I could definitely see him replicating what he did last year.
30 and 10, something like that.
Yeah, he's going to have a good season.
Mm-hmm.
But this is why I want to go back to another person, OG of the Speakeasy podcast, then the Woodward Heavyweights, now live on Woodward Heavyweights at WoodwardSports.com. Shout out to my guy, Dr. D, hooked us up with those training camp tickets.
Yeah, real one.
He says it's on Hooker to show he could pick up this offense. And that's just facts.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Even if Jared Goff goes out and balls this year, if Hendon Hooker shows this regime, the coaching staff promise that he's able to run this offense, or at least just, again, you have all day behind this offensive line. Jared Goff took the least amount of sacks in the entire fucking league.
Mm-hmm.
Then you should be able to execute a fucking 10-yard out to a guy that's going to run it 80 yards afterwards.
James M. says, find your guy so you can find your guy again in 5 years. Flawed logic. Not if that guy hits. Not if that guy is him.
Mm-hmm.
Then you pay that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Chiefs looking for their guy in another 5 years? Are the Ravens looking for their guy in another 5 years? Are the Eagles looking for their guy in another 5 years?
The Eagles are the flip end of that. They found another guy.
Yeah, and they found their guy, and they're like, damn, he's him. Let's lock him down.
There you go.
Exactly. And that's the thing, too, is like, where I'm seeing Brad Holmes mapping this thing out is he also grabbed Hendon Hooker this year specifically. It was going to be a quarterback either way. We already discussed that before. Quarterback is getting drafted this year. We said it may not be in the first round, but it's happening. But he did that so that if Hendon Hooker does show promise, guess who becomes an asset to your organization the same way Carson Wentz was to the Eagles organization that we just saw play in the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm. Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. Just saying.
Goff is good, but he's not him. That's what I'm with LF4. LF-4.
That's an AI generated comment.
That is an AI generated name, but
dude, you're
a
bot.
I'm with him on that. Goff is good. Goff is good. Goff is a good quarterback in that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you Goff's trash. He'll never do anything. You can't do. No, Goff is a good quarterback in the NFL. He's a very good quarterback when provided a bountiful amount of talent and resources around him. But I'm not paying great money.